Yo, dímelo, mi gente. Háblame por un momento. Siéntase, siéntate. Donde quiera. It's good to be back. Salud. Early at the beginning of the video instead of at the end. You know, I just want to thank you all. All of mi gente who prayed for me and, sent your good vibes and blessings towards my way. You know, if you don't know, I have been going through a lot. Con mi familia, dealing with my pops and my stepfather, and his issues of passing out. We had a scare a couple weeks ago. Had to rush up to an emergency. With nobody knowing what we thought he was having a stroke, but thank God he wasn't. And his blood pressure was very, very low, but it wasn't his time. It wasn't his time. God was with us. And this week, Mom's going into her knee replacement surgery, which, like, back to back, these things happen. So it's been a lot going on. On top of that, like I told you all, that I had been kind of in a spiritual slump. We get in these moods where we just kind of just in between, and you don't really know why. You feel this type of way. But I know that everything happens for a reason. And I do believe that it was for a spiritual upgrade. So I'm thankful for the things that happen positively and the things that occur negatively in my life, because duality is needed. Take it from me. Trust me. Confianza me. Duality in life is needed. A wise man once said, a kite doesn't fly with the wind. It flies against it. And that wise man was Napoleon Hill. And this is so true. Think about it. Kite doesn't fly with the wind. When the wind goes back and forth towards one another, that's when the kite flies. So with that being said, in other words, duality is needed. It's, you need that positive and negative force, because in a nutshell, the kite flies against adversity. Basically, when adversity comes towards our way, it gives us a push to want to go harder, because it motivates us to get ourselves out of that situation, and without that adversity, we wouldn't even want to really strive to go harder. Think about it, so adversity is needed. Think about the juice with a battery, positive and negative. Positive and negative is needed to rise, because once they come together, boom, there you have it. It sparks. So, and that's where the energy comes from. So, for those of you, y'all that don't know me, like, yeah, I'm hood, but I've always been like a science freak, for real. So, let me nerd out for a minute. Don't mind me if I ever nerd out for a minute. But no, just keeping it real, that's is much needed. So I've learned to not be afraid. And I would tell you all, don't be afraid when the negative comes, because the negative is needed. If you ever heard somebody say, I don't know, you ever heard somebody say that darkness is the light. You need that. Because think about it, if there was no darkness, how would you appreciate the light the way that you do? Es más importante. Es más importante. It's very important. So with that being said, I've learned personally, to appreciate all the little small things that I have to go through, because I know in the end they're going to rise me up to a greater level. That's my level up, you know. So everything in life is, I've learned, is perspective. Perspective is everything in life, because once you realize that, hey, look at this situation from different angles, you know, then you can learn to appreciate having to go through those small situations of negativity that brought you into appreciating the positive just that much more. It's a beautiful thing when you look at it that way. The paradigm behind it, you know, is when you can, when your third eye opens and you can start seeing things from all of these different angles. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. So with that being said, just look at things from different perspectives. Be grateful. Appreciate the every single thing. Like, just learn to appreciate the negative as well. You know, some days it's gonna rain. When it rains, appreciate the rain. You know, I heard a good saying from, I believe it was Pastor Stephen Furtick, right, at Elevation Church. He said, a surfer, the greatest thrill for a surfer is to be able to surf a tsunami. Think about it. But the worst fear of the regular person that lives a normal life, that's not a surfer, is a tsunami. Think about it. With that being said, when you look at it, those are two totally different perspectives. That surfer would love to have a chance to surf that tsunami. And here we are, worried about the fact that we may die inside of that tsunami. Isn't it's strange, but isn't it a beautiful thing when you think about it? See those different paradigm shift? You know, when you start looking at life from all different perspectives, it makes you let go of that fear. You let go of that fear, and then some things you learn to appreciate and the value of and be grateful for. Because, you know, for example, some people, you know, God bless the people who went through what they went through in those wildfires in California. I'm not taking anything away from that when I say this, you know, but those people that live over there long for rain, I'm sure for quite some time, you know, they and here we are, you know, at times I do it myself. Some people over here in the Midwest, you know, Ohio, Michigan, Chicago, you know, Indiana, we be like, come on, guys, like, give us a break. Like, we getting too much rain over here. You know what I'm saying? And here you are, we have people over here, many miles away, that's praying and wishing they could have some rain. You know, certain things we take for granted. It can be the very little things we take for granted that we should learn to appreciate. You know, those things are important. Like, some people don't get rain on a regular. Some people don't get sunshine on a regular. But at the end of the day, we all need both of them. We need both the sunshine and the rain to survive. It's a beautiful thing, you know. That's why, I'm gonna say this: if we practice a little more gratitude every single day, just a little bit of gratitude, we would be so much better. I promise you. Like once I started to understand that, my life has been so much smoother for me. You know, I've been up and I've been down. Everybody have. You know, I've had hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, um, and still not been happy at the end of the day. And to be honest, I may look like this, but I'm at my lowest that I ever been, probably since I was 17 years old in my life. But I'm happy. Like I have joy inside of me. And I understand now at 44 years old, versus 24 years old, that having that joy in my life is so much more important than any amount of dollar that I can have in my pocket, and any amount of dollars that I can have in my pocket. You know? And once you realize that, I think once you realize that wow, it's just I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it to y'all. Like I'm stumbling on my words. Like when have y'all ever seen me lost for words? You know, um, for a moment I told y'all that I was kind of in a state where um, I felt like my throat chakra was being attacked. My throat chakra, my third eye chakra, my crown chakra, and my heart chakra. All of my upper chakras were being attacked, and I don't know where it was coming from, but I'll tell you this. Listen, I I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling back. I'm feeling like being back to myself right now. And I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I know that for a fact. The angels are always with me. Always. So I don't fear nothing. I don't fear anything. But what I will tell you is this. Just because I don't fear it doesn't mean that things won't attack me. Things won't attack you in your life. There are always going to be um, things that come and try to get in your way. Evil entities, demonic spirits, uh, whatever. We can't stop that. All we can do is stay prayed up, stay sharp, stay on point, play chess over checkers. That's all we can do. Um, which is getting to my next point. Why, to those who know me personally, I'm gonna say, since October, I've been in straight monk mode. I've been in monk mode, meaning, you know, um, I moved to a new city. I made a decision consciously that it was time for a change in my life. And I understood the assignment that for me to be able to help people, I must first detach myself from everything that I've been used to and that hasn't been working for me in my life in the past, and everything that I've been used to, my old ways of living, and prepare myself by praying, meditation, isolation, and getting myself prepared so that I can help others. Because I understand that this was my purpose in my life. This is my duty. And it's not an easy thing. Man, listen, I promise y'all it ain't easy. it's not easy. Living the way that you always live, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you address people and deal with situations. It's hard. I promise you it ain't easy. But I really had to humble myself to do these things. And I promise you that you can do these things as well. You know? Um, you can do these things as well. It's not just me. If I can do it, I promise you can do it. But my point, getting back to where I was going with this is that when you change, when you decide to make a change in your life, there are going to be very many obstacles in your way. It's like that devil and angel on your shoulder, you know? You looking this way, you looking that way, and you trying to figure out, you know, it's so uncomfortable. You don't want to, it's so uncomfortable that you don't want to, it's going to be days that you don't want to go, to living this new type of a lifestyle. You know, it's hard to adapt to but you gotta push on. You gotta push through it. I promise you that it's worth it in the long run. You know, I've been dealing with this for, to be honest with you, I started my journey, my spiritual journey, back in 2000, maybe 14. And, you know, things was just, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. You know, but what I will tell you is this. Throughout your spiritual journey, it's not going to be peaches and cream. It ain't going to be peaches and cream. Peaches and cream. Let me slow down. You never know what to expect at any given time. Things can happen. So, with that being said, the only thing that we can do is prepare ourselves. Prepare ourselves spiritually for warfare the best that we can. Like I said, staying prayed up. Staying focused, meditating. Because when these things come, you want to be prepared to not only help yourself for the war, but to help everyone else around you that's needed. You know? And it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. But, and this is, it's going to never go away. You're not going to be fighting war every single day. Nobody fights a war every single day. What I will tell you is that it's going to come. But when it comes, you want to be prepared. You know? And like I said, I went in a monk mode. I didn't even plan on going in isolation as long as I have. But I knew it was needed. You know, I knew that it was needed. I had every intention of coming home when I was incarcerated, to coming home and doing the same thing that I had done before, and then doing it even bigger and better. But God said, nah. Bastante. Enough is enough. You know? And I'm so grateful that I was humble, put my pride to the side, and able to understand the assignment. That it's just bigger than me. Because, like I said, I've been through enough. And like I said, I had intentions of coming home 90 days, laying low, hanging with the family, spending some time, catching up, enjoying the holiday season, and then I'm going to get back to this money. I'm going to get back to the bag. But God saw fit for something different in my life. So, and the thing is, like, man, listen, I'm going to tell you, it don't matter how powerful you are. And I've had people come to me and tell me, they look me in my eyes, you know, and say, you are very powerful person. It's something about you, man. Like something in you. You don't even know your own power. You know? People have said God has something special to do with your life and the way that you're going to help people to rise up and be better in this world. And my thing is, I tell you, when no matter how much power you have in you, you cannot box with the long arms of God. Impossible. For real. I don't care how strong you think you are, how much physical muscle you got, how smart you are. I don't care how your IQ is. Listen, we can't battle with the person that invented the physical muscle and the IQ. Quit playing. With that being said, I put my pride to the side. I humble myself and I listened. And I think that whoever's hearing this message, this is for you. There is no coincidence that you pulled up on this, that this popped up in your feed. Listen, with 2 ears, you have to listen. You got 2 ears to listen, 1 mouth to talk. That's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen more than you speak. And I say that to say this, and then I'm gonna cut this short and I'm gonna end this. Pay attention when the Spirit speaks. Listen. You know, God has a message. Follow with it. Follow through with it. Listen. You know, like I said, it's just. I didn't plan on going into this isolation as long as I did, but I did. I planned on being 3 months, getting back in the street life and doing what I gotta do. God said, no, it ain't happening. And he set me down for 6 months. Since October, I started speaking in January. I understood my purpose and I started feeling this urge for my calling. And I didn't really know exactly what it was at the moment, but I was just so excited, you know. I got so excited about it. And it's not about the money. I was making no money with it. And I'm still not making no money with it. But I know that, you know, God said, listen, I will provide all of your needs. All of your needs. And your desires, whatever you need. But you need to speak. And I understand that now. You know, this is my duty. Whether I feel good when I wake up in the morning about it or not, I got to get to it. When I hear the message, when the angels speak to me, speak to my heart, speak to my mind, I got to deliver it for you. It's my job to motivate you, to tell you about the experiences that I have been through, the things that I don't want others to have to go through. You know, like Jay-Z said back in the day, when I was coming up, Hove did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. You know, that's real talk. You know, I used to hate that saying when older people told me, if I would have knew what I know now, I would have never did. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing that. But it's the truth. It is the truth. It's so true. It's so true. If I would have known what I know now 20 years ago, I wouldn't be in the predicament that I'm in. You know? So, all I can say is, you know, isolation breeds elevation. Don't let it breed depression. Stay focused. Believe in yourself. Who better off than to bet on but you? Alright? With that being said, Much love. Paz y bendiciones. Mi gente. I love y'all. Every last one of y'all. You know. I hope this message reaches the right person at the right time. All right. Much love.